Okay, marketing blog. I'm going to do this for you until you qualify, and then you need to do it yourself and do it for your people. If you go to www.98go.info after this video, or put this on pause and go there now. It's www.98go.info. Okay, this is a free blog. So when you're speaking to people, you do a broadcast, or somebody sees your video, or whatever, they contact you, you want to get them to go to the webinar, as I mentioned before in the last video. So this is a blog. It's called Blogger. It's owned by Google, and it's free. Okay? And until you qualify, every day this is how you give them the information about the webinar, including the URL to the GoToMeeting webinar address, and the phone number of the webinar, the call-in number, and your name and your phone number, and a little blurb about voice broadcasting. Okay? We don't mention iBuzz Pro, because you don't want people just going and Googling and getting lost and missing the webinar or whatever. Okay? So if you go to 98go.info, you're going to see what I'm using, and I will do the same thing for you. And I will go in, and I'm only going to have, like you see, the webinar information for that day. Okay? Like Saturday, June 7th, or whatever it happens to be. Okay? However long it takes you to qualify, I'll go in and change your the date for the day and the blog or the webinar address. Once you qualify, you need to do it yourself. So you'll need to open your own blog, and if you want to keep using the same thing, you just copy what you see and you paste it into your own blog. It's pretty simple. It probably sounds more complicated than it is, and it's free. All you need is a Gmail account, because it's owned by Google, and it's, they want you to have a Gmail account. And the way you get a Gmail account is just type in Gmail, get a Gmail account into Google, and just follow the prompts. It's pretty easy to do. You should be able to figure that out. That's not complicated. Okay, so it's really, really, really important. This is a way of branding yourself. It's got your name and your phone number in there. Just like the one that you see of mine, it's got my name and my phone number in there. Okay, now, at the bottom, if you look at the bottom of that post on that blog, 98go.info, you don't see any keywords in there. You don't want to make this something that shows up in the search engines. You don't want to have any keywords in here. Okay? You just want to have it exactly the way that it is. It's a tool for you to use, and you'll need to get an abbreviated URL from GoDaddy. So you're going to need two URLs. One is for your affiliate site, your iBuzz Pro site, and the second one is to send to the blog. Okay? Like the name of my blog is nextgenleads.blogspot.com. Well, that's too long. So I just have an abbreviated URL, 98go.info, which cost me $2.98, and I point it at the blog. So when I'm talking to somebody, I'm not saying to them, okay, go to my blog, it's nextgenleads.blogspot.com. Oh, that's too much. I say it's 98go.info. Okay? So you could get a URL, 509t.com. or 509info.com. It's not really a marketing, it's just something to give people over the phone that they can write down easily and remember. And just say, go there now, as if you're talking to them, and show them where it is and say, okay, bookmark this, put this in your favorites, so in case you lose it, you can get back to it. And tell them the webinar is coming up in 42 minutes from now, or an hour and 7 minutes from now. You just go to 98go.info, or whatever it is yours is, 509.com, and you should get there a minute or two in advance so you can click on the link for the webinar and register by putting your name and your email address in there, and dial that number that you see right next to it. Dial that number for the audio, and bingo, you're in. And you're going to hear everything about this voice broadcasting platform, everything from A to Z, and then you can ask questions at the end. That kind of thing. Do that. Do that. It's what to do. Anyway, so after you qualify, then you need to set up your own. I'm not going to go in there and change the date for you anymore. And then, you do the same for your people. When they qualify, you'll know how to set one of these up. It's really easy. It's about as easy as it gets. So you'll be able to go in there and have set up one for your people, and then when they're ready, when they've qualified, then they set one up for themselves. Now, if they qualify in an hour, then, there's a little overlap there. You don't want to overload somebody who qualifies in an hour with another thing. Let them learn the system first, and do the voice broadcasting. You can always have them get their own Blogger account a week later. It doesn't matter. It's no big deal. For the amount of money you make in this, with the 2-ups, if you have somebody that qualifies in an hour, you're going to start receiving two $250 payments. It's worth it to be able to invest 30 seconds a day to go in and change the person's name and phone number, or change the date and the webinar URL. See, every different webinar has its own URL address. That's why it can't always be the same. It has to be changed every day. So in the morning of each day, as we get the webinar URL address for those days' calls, they'll be posted on your blog until you either qualify or until you're ready to have your own blog. And then I'll explain it to you, you'll explain it to your people, how to set up a blog. It's really easy. It's not any more difficult to do that than it is to set up an email address with Yahoo or something like that. Okay, I think that's almost it. I only have one more thing, and that has to do with recording. And let me close this out, and I'll go to that one next.